We should be live. It is Sunday night. It is March the 20th. And this is the tNb Gaming Podcast. Hello, darlings. Hope you're all well. Nice to have you back with us once more for another live stream this week. And a bit different. So I say it's a bit different. I mean, there is going to be the usual gaming chat. We're going to talk about gaming for good causes this week. A lot of people have over the last couple of years have done quite a lot for charity. So we thought it'd be a great idea to have on tonight some guests who've done some streams like that to get their experiences, what motivated them to do so, what inspired them to do so, and what results they had. And we'll be talking about that in great detail. We'll also be talking about, as usual, what we've been playing. And anything that else is gaming related, and whatever comes into the chat, any questions or comments, will be highlighting those as well. And yeah, so pretty much the usual thing for the difficult 51st episode. I'd like to say once again a massive thank you to everybody who turned up for the 50th episode 2 weeks ago. It was a delight to be able to bring in everybody with the exception of Rob. Unfortunately, Rob was at work, but he did send a few messages during the course of the show. Thank you so much indeed for everybody who made that such a great success. It was great fun, and thank you very much to Martin as well for stepping in at the very last minute to be part of the tNb Hall of Fame. And hopefully we'll have Martin back again very, very soon. Right, so what have we got? Let's have a quick look at the chat. A bit quiet at the moment, but I'll pick up a bit later. Retro Claire is here. Jolly good. Big Game Al is here. Good evening, Al. Hope you're well. Joe Gaming Girl is here. Good evening, Joe. Hope everything's okay with you. Eddie, good evening to you, my friend. Eddie not with us tonight. Neither's Nathan, neither's Pete, unfortunately. However, we should hope that everybody who's here will be here short. As a quick message to say that somebody's running just late, but there we go. It's live. We know what we're talking about. Keith's here. LFC Gamer and Vlogs. Good evening, my friend. Nice to see you again. Retro Dome Music from Germany. Good evening, my friend. Hope you're all well. JBTV. However, my just passed. I'm now 14. Well, congratulations to you. 14 years old. That was a very long time ago for me. You can probably imagine that as well. Ian's here from the RGB Gaming Podcast. Good evening, Ian, who is currently working his way through all my videos. I'm wondering what will come first, a sort of like a mental breakdown, or he gets to the very end. He's got a long way to go. Anyway, Paul's here, Retro Bait. Evening, mate. Hope you're feeling better. Had a bit of the old COVID, I understand. So I hope you're not suffered too much from that. Yep, all I hear here, Joe. I hope you're very well as well. All good here. And James, Retro and Import Gamer. Good to see you here as well, my friend. Yeah, so we talk charity, but let's bring in our special guests because they're here and they're sitting very patiently waiting. So we're going to bring them in first. Now, my first guest is somebody very famous for wearing a mask on YouTube. And yeah, I'm not quite sure how to describe him. And he's still got it on this evening, so I'll bring him in first. It's good evening to Big Game Al.
Caught me off guard there.
I know. Are you still wearing it? No. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, not too bad.
Took you by surprise there, didn't I?
Yeah, proper caught me by surprise.
I've been thinking about that all week, to be honest with you. I had the best way to bring you in and sort of have you both sit there, have you sitting backstage wondering what's going to happen. So yeah, have you recovered from last weekend? Because obviously you did your charity stream last week.
Just about. I'm just going to start this because like this is a charity stream now, and every good charity stream starts off with a Red Bull. So I need all the energy I can get. So, cheers, everyone.
Yeah, I mean, if you obviously don't know what we talked about, I'm presuming a lot of people in the chat who were there last week. Al did his 24 hours across Saturday and Sunday last weekend for the Mayhew Animal Charity. We'll talk a bit more about that later on. But yeah, it went very well. Great to have you here, Al. Thanks very much for coming in, and we'll talk a bit more about that. I'll get to the bits and pieces as well. Just got the comments there. Just watched the Forest game. We got super lucky. I don't know what that FA Cup one did, I think. Paul is feeling better. He's got a punnet of wine. There we go. I don't expect anything else, but yeah. That's what he usually does.
You mean pint?
Yeah, pint of wine. I think that's what he meant. His spelling's not got any better, that's for sure, after the COVID. UK Video Game Pirate. Oh, yes, it was the London Gaming Market today. Of course it was. Yes, hope you're well. Good to see you in. Sorry, missed the show last time around. Trevor's here, rock and roller. Hi, Trevor. Ian, Al, Red 7. Good evening to you, Snoopy Man 79. Good evening, Gavin. Hope you are well as well. Nice to see you in. And yep, so good. And I see a nice bundle of people in the chat tonight. Let's bring in our second guest. If I'll just say quick hello to Scott, because he just popped in. Sega Zombie, good evening to you. Hope you're okay. I'm not sure if you're at the market today or not, but
he's been off with COVID as well, so hopefully he's all good.
Oh, he did. Yes, of course he had COVID, didn't he? Yes, that's right. Yeah. Oh, I hope you're feeling better, Scott. You could be getting pirate. I thought you would have been there, Al, today. Were you not there?
No, I was working sadly this morning, so I never got a chance to go.
I thought you were planning on going.
I was going to, but then a bit of overtime come out, and the money talked more than gaming. So
Dana's here as well as after a bargain. Al, if you got anything for trade tonight?
Yeah, the whole lot. I've got some cans of Carlsberg. This one's a bit empty though, so I don't know how much that one's worth.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if anybody. I'll be surprised if anybody took you on Carlsberg, mate. It's cooking lager. That I've told you that before. Scott says he's feeling more human today after his kung flu.
Oh,
well, I hope you and Paul are on the mend anyway, mate. It's it's doing the rounds and getting into it. Right, second guest tonight. He's somebody who did a charity stream last year, which was tremendously successful, and it was a thrill to be part of that. I was a part of Al's stream last week playing Fall Guys with him, but be part of this other YouTuber's stream and for charity, 24-hour gaming charity stream that he did, and it was great to be part of that from a completely different perspective and monitoring the chat for pretty much most of it. And Mrs. Bear did a great job on that as well. It was a great pleasure to do it, and I'm thrilled to have him on tonight, and I hope you all make him welcome. It is, of course, your friend of mine. It is Feed Me Chicken.
Your Majesty, how the cluck are you?
I'm clucking fantastic.
Game! Oh, clucking good answer that. I hope everyone that's watching is obviously either recovering and feeling top notch later or feeling top notch now. But how the cluck is everyone in the chat?
They all seem to be well. They're either recovering from COVID or they've stumbled across this by accident. I'm guessing it's one of the two. It's great to have you on. Thank again. A little bit short notice, so they contacted you on Thursday about this. But I'm thrilled to have you here, and I hope that you enjoy your time with us this evening.
Well, thank you for the invitation. I just hope you didn't lose too many people as soon as I came on.
No, we've actually gained viewers. That's good. They started coming in. So, yeah. Ian said, if I watch all your videos, do I get an invite to the podcast? If you make it through all the videos, mate, I told you I'll give you a medal. I will go and buy you a medal and pay for it myself. That's how bad it is. I will pay for something myself and send it to you. Empty can of fizzy piss. Yes, that's Carlsberg. Stu's Retro Reviews is here. Stu, good evening to you. Yeah, Eddie said, just a reminder, this is a 24-hour live stream in honour of our guests. I wasn't aware of that. Someone's changed the programming. 24 hours live stream to help cure insomnia. Yes, that's what it is. Yeah. Drop in, fall asleep, and wake up a bit later on when it's time for work. That's what it is. Right, we got Rob's going to be a little about 8:30. I think he said you're going to get here. But anyway, let's bring in one of the tNb lads sitting patiently backstage, just fresh from his latest stint at the Curry House having his tea. It is Sean at Retro Games Revived.
Hey, evening, everyone. How are we all
Good
doing?
evening. We're very well.
Chicken. Al, how are we doing, lads?
That was the curry.
How you doing?
Beautiful. Well, the thing is, we've gone on to a new curry house, and obviously I picked Lorraine up from work on an evening, and it's one on the way home. And we've never tried it before, but there's always loads of cars parked outside. Like, it must be popular, it must be nice if everybody's going there. It's beautiful. So, highly recommended. Not that any of y'all are going to come up here just to visit.
Is it a new one for the road trip? That's the question.
Possibly. It's only a takeaway in the restaurant.
In the restaurant.
Yeah. Oh no, I've got a good restaurant for us in
That's
Ponty.
all right. Then.
A good curry house. Yeah.
Do your existing, curry house that you have loyalty points with, now you've betrayed them and gone somewhere else tonight? Or is...
No. Don't tell them.
Keep it
They
quiet.
might sabotage my meal.
They're going to shut down if Sean stops going there.
That's it, yeah. 37 Retro is here, tuning in for your mouth noises. Yeah, well, there we go. Strange way of putting it. Goodwin's Place, Craig. Good evening. Nice to see you here. Broseb, hello to you, all the way from Canada. They're quite an international feel. We've got Canada, we've got Wales, we've got Germany, we've got England.
We've got Dubai.
Scotland, Dubai, yeah. It's an international podcast, this one.
Who's Dubai again? Who's from Dubai?
Red 7 Gaming.
Sadly, your time's not good for Australia, though. You have to go a bit later for them.
That's all right. I think I could probably get by without Australia just for the moment. We don't want to go too big too soon, do we? You know what I mean? It's there we go. Right. So we always kick this off, and like I said, we're waiting for Rob to get here. So we'll kick this off with games we've been playing. Al, I know you played a few on your stream last week, but anything you'd like to recommend to people that you've been playing that they'd like to perhaps have a go at?
Right. I'm going to blame Eddie for this.
Everyone blames Eddie. Yeah.
Basically, since that live stream finished, I've been playing this game non-stop. I've literally just...
Let me give you the big screen. Go on, let me give this... Yep.
So it's Vostok Inc. And basically, this makes Eddie late for work, and it's going to start making me late for work, waiting for money to do upgrades. It's like a tycoon-style game combined with a shoot 'em up. So it's got the best of both worlds on it. It's absolutely awesome.
I watched you play that. I must admit, it didn't capture my imagination.
It gets better once I've moved on to the next world now. I'm not on our solar system no more, and the bosses get
solar system. Yeah. There are other worlds. What, Skaro?
Yeah, there's other worlds. Loads of different universes in there. So yeah, it is. I'm hooked on it, and I leave it on overnight now because I need to wake up to loads of money in the morning on it, just to get that next couple of upgrades in.
Is it an exploration game, or just like a business?
Yeah, you travel to other planets and set up little bases on them to earn more money. It's basically like a tycoon game where you're trying to earn money, but also it's like a strategy shooter style game, because if you got too much money on you and you get taken into a boss fight and you lose half your money. What do we now? Stotchy? He's the one who leaves it on all the time. Didn't his PlayStation overheat? Eddie left this game on so long his PlayStation overheated.
You're making some progress with it anyway. At least that's I guess the main thing about it.
I've ticked off a few trophies on it, so we're getting there. I'm now a trophy hunter as well as a achievement hunter.
Al's mouth noises could be considered ASMR for some.
Cheers, Keith.
Al with his beard and hair looks like Deputy Fuzz from Brave Star.
Deputy Fuzz.
I don't know Brave Star on that one.
Well, it's still here. If you don't like it, get that money in.
I'm glad you picked up the right buzzing toy there to show us a
demonstration.
demonstration. That's quite impressive, really. That could have been something else. Anything else, Al, you've been playing, or is it just you're just running that 24/7?
I should be playing more of that racing game that I played on the stream, Art of Rally. But I've just been lazy.
I quite like that. I like the look of I like the style of it. The art style was very good. It's
a really good game, but it's so repetitive that you can't play it for more than like an hour without getting bored.
I must be, when I watched it, I thought, oh, this is quite good. And after about 15 minutes, I thought I quite like how it looks, but I'd probably get really bored of it quite quickly.
Yeah.
I think a few people mentioned a couple of comments saying it's not bad, but it's not great.
Yeah, that's why I've done 3 hours of it on the stream, because I thought if I'm talking to people, it's going to keep me playing it. So, but since the stream, I've not played any more of it, so I need to get back on it. I've just started a game called Feather on the Xbox One.
Yeah,
where you're basically just a bird and you fly around. That's just one of these easy achievement ones. But other than that, I've not really played much. Oh no, I played El Gaucho, I think it's called. You play as a little dinosaur thing. You have to collect other dinosaurs and shoot things. It's quite tricky to control.
Not selling it particularly well.
It's not the best game. I'm sure
You'll probably know what you're talking about. Yeah,
it's a 40-minute 1000G game.
We've missed Rob's independent gaming corner on this particular chat. UK Video Game Pirate says WWE game this year was quality for once. Get it? Al looks like he's trying to grow a Misfit style front ponytail.
I'm just trimming this side off and just have the goatee.
Sound breaking up. Okay, everybody here sound okay?
Sean's on, so it might be him.
Yeah, I know. Anything else, Al, or is that it?
I can go through a big list of independent games, but I'd bore everyone.
Give us the edited highlights. Is there anything that you would sort of say you could recommend? Otherwise, I should move on. So
I've got to check the list. I can confirm it was El Gancho. I played a bit of Horned Knight. That wasn't very good. Music Racer was good, but that was a bit of a long one. And then there was a couple of new of the Istillian games, I think they're called, the ones that are going up to 1000G now. There's two more of them out there. Was Bulwatron and Brainstorm. They weren't too bad. And then I finished off Smart Moves too.
Okay.
That's about it, really.
There's a lot of games in there, blimey.
It was. They're all little cheap, like quick, easy ones.
Any Dark Souls on Al's list?
Yeah. It just didn't get played, though. It was on the list.
Shouldn't have got his to his list much quicker than Al. Thank you, Ian. Yeah.
Good to see you,
moving swiftly on. Phoebe Chicken, have you been playing anything recently that you could recommend to the viewers out there?
Recommend? No. But yes, I've been playing some games, which is unusual for me. So, I'll go through it briefly. So I've got Pain on the PS3, which is basically like a ragdoll simulator, which I personally find fun, but find irritating at the same time. On the Switch, it's Radical Rad something or other, which Retro Round 88 sent me. It's a great game, but because I haven't played like games regularly, it just proves how crap I am at games because I'm stuck, and it really just irritates me. It's like, this is a kiddie's game, and I can't get further than what I'm at. So that kind of pisses me off. Hollow Knight, although everyone raves about Hollow Knight, I can't really say much about it because I haven't got far enough to get, like, I'm assuming the further you get, the more things you collect, the more then you can buy, like, I'm assuming power-ups and stuff, because I can't do half the things that I want to do on it. So yeah, I can't really comment on that one. And then on the Xbox One, I suppose if you're a gamer score hunter, then I could recommend this game because 2000G. It's Super Lucky Tales, which is super irritating to me as well because it's so full of cheap deaths. I can't believe it. Like, I'm going around and thinking, yes, I'm on the path, and then suddenly I've clipped through the floor and I've died. I was like, what? But yeah, so it's 2000G, which isn't too bad. But then you play it and you think, yeah, I'm doing all right, I'm completing all these things, getting all these clover leaves that you need to collect. Then you come to these two boss fights. Now, the first boss fight, I think I lost 15 lives because you get to second bit on it and there's this maze that pops up. But you get so disorientated, by the time you know where you are, this bomb's blown up and you're dead. And then the second one, if you want the G for it, you've got to beat it without being hit, which is so much harder when it goes the second time round. But there you go. I'm not very good at games, so I'm not going to get that achievement anytime soon. However, 2000G is 2000G. But
that's it.
That's my list.
What was the first one you mentioned again? I was going to say something about it.
Oh, Pain.
Yes, because I bought that ages ago. And I'd heard about it and I'd seen it, and then it sort of passed me by, and then I did see it incredibly cheap. I thought I'll get hold of that. Is it good?
To be honest, I think it ends up being the eye of the beholder sort of thing, because I could say, yeah, it's great because I enjoy it, but then someone else plays it and goes, what the flipping hell am I playing? I will say though, it does have some very good art styles in it, which is some very good physic engines towards those particular characters. Not saying no more than that, but but yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, like I said, it's a ragdoll simulator. I mean, you've got to figure the physics out to get where you want to go. But to some people, it's going to be all right. To other people, it's going to be a pain in the ass. So, but the weird thing I will say about pain though is that if I read the trophies right, the trophies don't exist until you bought the added extras, which I found really weird. But then again, I might have misunderstood some of the trophies, but I'm pretty sure when I look through it, most of the trophies are sort of things that you need to then buy to add on to the game. They're not too expensive, but I thought it was a bit out of order, really. But there you go.
I must give that one a go because I bought it. Oh yeah, I might actually play that, and that was like 3 years ago. So I've still got it somewhere, but I will definitely dig that one out. Lovely. So thank you for those. Any recommendations there people have heard about or have played themselves? Put something in the comments. And yeah, I'm still yet to give Hollow Knight a go because I'm not sure I'm going to enjoy it. It's been sitting on my shelf for about 15 months, and I don't know whether I'm going to give it.
I think you'll get into it, but I think it's one of those ones that you need to give it time to get what you need. It sounds a bit odd because I played it and then. Like you collect things, and then if you end up dying, then you lose it all, and then that kind of bugger things up. But it's like one of those you kind of unlock different paths to the game, and then I'm assuming that when you go into this shop, you can buy that maybe an upgrade to like then do, for example, like a dash in midair, which I can't do yet, but I know that you can do one of them. And I obviously haven't progressed far enough to say, hey, this is a great game, or this is a crap game. I'm just in that limbo mode where. Yeah, it's playing, and I can see myself playing it, but I need to get to the next bit to go. This is either really, really good or really, really irritating. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm in limbo mode, but yeah, it's all right. I mean, the art style is quite nice, and the way it's really responsive. And when you get to like a kind of mid-boss type thing, they're quite fun. Don't get me wrong, but again, it's just. I want to progress a bit further to go. Yes, this is it. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. So you didn't like it, Al?
No, I mean, I think it's too hard for what it is, really. But then I think I've got too far without getting upgrades. So I think I might have to start again from the beginning and try and rather than rushing through the game, I need to try and look around and find some upgrades before I rush through because I've got to one of these mid bosses and I can't beat the thing. So I'll just give up.
That sounds a bit like me, to be honest with you. Feed Me Chicken recommends Mario Kart. Eddie says, has Feed Me Chicken played any Mario Kart recently?
Sorry, Ian, that's a question.
The answer is yes, I have been playing a bit of Mario Kart, thanks to Cooper's World, who, if I don't mind putting a plug for his channel, if you're in Yoshi's Valley, get a time in to Cooper's World channel. 1st of April is when he's cutting it all off. Yes, I have been playing. I have set a time. I just need to send it in, but people need to get involved. This is a community thing right here, what we're going to talk about. But yeah, it's a great thing to get involved. Very good.
Yeah, YouTube star in a Mario Kart is what he calls it. He said Chicken said deadline's the 1st of April. You've still got 12 days to get your times in. So go across to Cooper's World channel and have a look at that. He's done a video about it, and all the details are there. Redline Chase was here. Good evening to you. Sorry you're late. That's fine. People turn up when the people drop in and out all the time. It's good to see people giving the tNb podcast a chance. James says Pain's not a bad little game in short bursts. Ian says Pain, is it about a rag doll or a doll on the rag? Yeah, well, we've got ladies present here, and you can't go around saying things like that. Joe really likes Hollow Knight. You may have offended her by saying that. I don't know.
She's probably got a lot further than us, so she knows how it plays.
Yeah. She's probably played it properly too.
I think Joe could put us all to shame with some of the stuff that she has and plays. So it took Eddie about 50 hours to beat Hollow Knight. Trevor would recommend Lego Batman 2. Yeah, I've not played that one. I played the first one. That one. Al turned Hollow Knight off after he didn't get an achievement after 8 minutes of gameplay. and Joe confirms that she's beaten Hollow Knight, which means she's better than everybody sat here. So there we go. Quick question for you from Sean, from Danes to Sean.
Aye.
Have you got a game to recommend?
Funnily enough, I do, Dana. It's called COD Warzone. I think you might have forgotten about it. And you all as well. Bloody hell. All my friends have deserted me, Ross.
I've just I've just done the update on it, so I can play it now. Maybe after this stream finishes.
I'm having to play solos all the time. It's not good. Saying that though, I did have a win over.
I'll jump on.
Well, I've got work in morning now. That's the thing. I might have an hour. We'll see. But I've been doing a little bit more. I don't know if I mentioned it 2 weeks ago. It's like a hidden object game. It's called Dark Arcana, I think it's pronounced. Have you heard of it?
I've heard of Derek Cora, but I've not heard of Dark Arcana. Obscure reference there, sorry. I'm used to being on
and it's a great little game. It's very easy though. It doesn't really tax your brains as such. I mean, even if you do get stuck, there's a little thing in the corner where you can click and it highlights what you're supposed to do next. If you use that, it takes like about a minute to refill and you can use it again. So, and it's unlimited, it's not a case of, well, you've got 5 of these and then that's it, you're on your own. Unlike the old 8-bit text adventures, Russ.
Yeah.
If you were stuck, you were stuck.
Yeah. Turn left. Yeah. I don't understand. Left. And then you'd end up throwing it against the
wall. This game, it pretty much guides you wherever you need to go. I've had a little go on that. I've also had a go on Modern Warfare. Again, I mentioned it last time. The campaign mode.
Every single time you've been on, mate.
Have you finished that game yet?
No, not yet, because I'm just doing it in little dribs and drabs.
Must be little. It's only got about a 6-hour campaign on it.
I know.
we should be prefacing your comments with Sean is not sponsored by so and so whoever made the game, just so people realise, I don't know. Maybe you are. I don't know.
But it's a great game, and I believe the next mission I'm on is the sniping mission. So Dana would appreciate that. I'm absolutely rubbish at sniping, so it's not one of my favourite missions of that game. But you know what? I've been at my lockup today, and I've spent quite a bit of time there, and I didn't play one single game. I was faffing about moving shelves. I'm rearranging again. I'll never be happy with it. If you know the PS2 wall,
yes,
the cabinets I've used were from IKEA, and if you remember me saying to get more shelves, and obviously I had to custom fit some shelves. Well, I've got 3 cabinets that I bought off eBay, and I need 3 more of them, because I want to replace all those other cabinets I got from IKEA with these others, and make them all the same. Because the thing is, I don't know if IKEA still do these type of shelves that I want, and to be honest, I can't be bothered customizing them again. It does take quite a bit of time up doing that. So these ones I've got off eBay, they're just simple and easy to put up. Just seeing if Al's got any background, but I don't think he has. I forget the name of them. They're just on eBay. I just put DVD storage. It comes up with these generic type of shelving units. They're about £100 each. They're quite expensive.
Ooh, yeah, that sounds expensive.
Yeah.
I was going to say, could you not get Billies in there because they're cheaper, but they stick out too far for you, wouldn't they? Because they're double stacked.
Yeah, I don't want a double stack. No.
You want
so,
the
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. Yep, lovely. Thanks, mate. Joe played Hollow Knight on PC. Loved it so much you got a physical copy on PlayStation 4. Retro Kitty's in the house. Good evening, John. Hope you're okay. Dylan's here as well. Hollow Light is legendary, one of the best games of the last generation, easily. Trevor says, anyone like Sniper Elite games? I don't think I've ever played a Sniper Elite game.
I've got more. I've not played any.
I've got one, I think, somewhere. Argos do cheap bookshelves. Yes.
Too late now. It's already late.
Can I just say something?
Yep.
In the chat, in one of the chats that I'm in, Mr. Hypertrue X, who popped up on the screen, you're talking about IKEA stuff. He did say that IKEA do like a recycling thing. So if you're replacing the IKEA stuff, maybe the expensive bookshelves that you're buying, maybe you can get some money back if you recycle your IKEA furniture back to IKEA, if they still do that. So I'm just putting it out there in case you have missed that, or I'm talking complete bull, but I'm sure that's what was written in the post not too long ago.
Yeah, he said
Thank
they
you.
buy it back.
Al will be
The
selling
do what? The buy back your old cabinets. That's what I was saying.
Yeah,
That's what
if
he
you
said.
got
That's what
old
he
They
said.
ones,
won't take mine though. Well, they're all butchered.
it depends. They
You don't know unless you try, do you?
They do sell damaged furniture in there, so they do have like a little section of it.
You might find them in there. Quite a few people played the old Sniper Elite games. Dylan said hasn't played it, but he's heard things about them. He'd like it more than card. Paul Retrobate says he loves Sniper Elite. James has played a little bit of Sniper Elite on the Wii U. Dylan confirms I recycled a bunch of stuff to IKEA and got £80, Sean.
There you go.
Huh?
Yeah. It was out of date meatballs, what he's not saying. But...
It just goes to prove that Sean don't read the chat.
He's relied on me to put this up, so he can read it. So. Right. Okay. Thanks for that, Sean. Thanks, guys. Our final guest has arrived, so I shall bring him in now. Thank you for waiting patiently. Welcome back to TNB Game. Pascal Nardino plays. Rob, good evening.
Evening,
Hello,
Rob.
good evening. How are we all?
Yeah, very well. How are you? Are you tired after your excursions today?
Only tired because I was up at a time I'm not usually up because I work permanent evenings. But no, it's all right. It was good. It's good. It was nice and busy there. Proper fucking ram, to be honest with you. Literally heaving with people. But it's a good sight to see, isn't it? Because you don't people thinking our hobby is dead, do you? And getting too expensive. There's plenty of people there and plenty of people buying.
Well, that's it, isn't it? There's a lot of that negativity going on at the moment, and I saw a couple of people put some videos up of queuing to get in and met of people there. It did look very busy, so hope you had a good day out, mate.
Yeah. Caught up with a few familiar faces, and just had generally a good day.
Excellent. Let's have a look. Red Lion Chaser mentions here. Got Sniper at 368-bit. Rach is here. Good evening, Rach. Nice to see you in again once again. Let's have a look. Red Lion Chaser, love the new channel. Dylan traded in his old swing and crucifix. That's IKEA. Oh dear. Rob, obviously, when we get to the main topic of the week, we obviously you did your live stream as well, which is why we've had you on with the other chaps on tonight to talk a little bit about that. But you've joined us at the right time to talk about any games that you'd like to recommend or talk about that you've been playing recently for the listeners and the viewers.
Yeah, I'll only talk about a couple, but the one is first one. Certainly is fuck the hidden gem phrase, but it's not one that people will have known about. Huh?
What
Fuck
did you
the
say?
hidden gem phrase.
Yeah,
I hate it, but no, it's a game I don't think many people will know about in comparison to others. And I finished it the other week, and I just like to give it a shout, really, because and it's not expensive either, and it's called Gravel. And it is very much a dirt clone, which I think is why they chose the name. If you get what they did there,
I could have called it anything else.
but I have to give it to it though. It is a really good game. It is, in all purposes of the words, it really is a dirt clone. It is actually that good. It's that good. It's not that far off being it. I'll tell you what. If you stuck dirt on the box, dirt 4 or whatever, whatever they're up to, dirt 6. I think they've just done dirt 5, haven't they? Yeah. If you stuck dirt 6 on the box, no one would know any different. They really would, and honestly, it's a really good game. So say lots of. I mean, it literally plays like all the way through as well. I did like what they did with the checkpoint levels, whereas as opposed to sort of your regular get to the checkpoint thing, it kind of has a row of boards. Some are green ticks and some are red crosses, and obviously you have to drive through a green tick to just carry on as normal. But if you hit a red cross, it will slow you down for a couple of seconds. But it's a really good. It's not even expensive. I think it's £6 in CX at the moment, and it pops up in the Xbox Live Store a lot for even less if you don't want to buy a physical version. I saw it on the sale the other week for like $2.49. It really is a good game. I don't know if anyone else has come across it yet.
Yeah, Trevor said. Yeah, Trevor said it's a good game. Ian said the sequels will be called Grit. Have you played Gravel with a steering wheel?
I don't have a steering wheel. No.
Right.
I'll play it with your pad. So.
Yeah, James says Gravel is really good. Was unsure at first, but now think it's a great arcade racer and a bargain. Eddie's just been checking Amazon for Grit.
Let's go with his stand he picked up earlier.
Oh dear, we like hearing about cheat games. We do indeed. Yeah. Anything else, Rob?
Well, seems to like hearing about cheat games.
Oh yeah.
I'll bring this one in. I've been playing this week, but I've been really enjoying it, and I kind of wanted to play it to see what all the fuss was about because it went on back compat, obviously, and it made the price shoot through the roof. And since then, I found two of them: one for £1 in a charity shop, one in an eBay bundle. And yeah, I've been playing Ridge Racer 6 this week, and again, it's good racing arcade fun. I don't think there's nothing that really sticks out from any other racing game or anything within sort of the rest of the Ridge Racer franchise, but it is just good fun. Hell of a lot of levels, hell of a lot of tracks. It's a massive grid that you have to get through, and loads of routes you can take, things like that, and loads of little championships you can set up. But for me, it even handles like the original Ridge Racer, but just a lot more polished, if you get what I mean. It has that same handling about it. Easy to pick up, easy to learn to drift around the corners, and it is actually a very good game.
Yeah, Ridge Racers, I do like a good Ridge Racer. I played 7 a few months back, and that video I did on the gameplay video just sort of like gone through, sort of steadily climbed up the last couple of weeks or so. People picked up on it, and a lot of people didn't realise I actually brought out a 7th Ridge Racer game. But I do love the series, so it's always good for a blast, isn't it?
Funnily enough, I picked up 7 from a charity shop last week for £2 on the PS3.
Yeah.
I picked it up with a copy of Unbounded on the PS3, but that'll be traded in. But yeah, no, I'm going to keep that because obviously it only came out on the PS3, didn't it? Ridge Racer 7.
Right.
So.
That's right. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it's kind of an exclusive.
Yeah, good. Very quick snipping back. I missed a comment from Dana earlier, and Ian said, I like this. Well, Joe Gaming Girlie, who's in the chat, she made a really good video this week about the sort of subject of game collecting and whatever. If you haven't seen it, please do go and have a look because it's definitely worth your while checking it out. So do go across and look at that on Joe's channel.
The other thing I'd say about that, and I noticed this in the comments as well, is listen to what Dana says at the end of his recent video because it is bang on with how the pricing structuring works. It literally, you could not script it better. It is worded perfectly. So well done for saying that, Dana. And honestly, people need to hear that because that is true as to how it is at the moment.
Yeah.
Will we set the prices is pretty much, the line. Got to remember that. And then I tell you what, there were some tasty prices at the market today. Yeah. And I was going to say, and it's just the common trend. It's not sellers trying to take the piss. It is just the common trend of what they're going for now. It's hugely popular now.
Yeah, it is. It is. Stuart's dropping in there. Generation Pixel. Good to hear you knocking around the chat again. So we got Eddie says, remember the good old days when the Ridge Racer was released alongside the Sony console launch? Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think that's why most people missed the 7th one out because I didn't realise it was there. Just so many people commented on that video I did. More so rather than what I was, commenting on my gameplay. Was more to sort of comment on the fact I didn't even know this game existed. So but yeah, there we go. Joe, just to reiterate the point, thanks very much for saying what we did. Be doing more on it soon. You can still get cheat games. It's not all doom and gloom. Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. But that's another subject for another time, I think. So have you ever played Gravel with a shovel? He started early tonight, didn't he? Oh, yeah.
You're on the board.
Anything else, Rob, at all, or is it you want to show us?
No, I just thought I'd bring those two along to talk about. But no, apart from games I play, what about something I'm thinking of playing next? Can I just show you that? It's called El Shaddai Ascension of the Metatron. So I just thought I'd share that with you.
Oh yeah, El Shaddai.
El
Yeah.
Shaddai Ascension of the Metatron. What a name, eh?
I've heard of it.
pronounced Al.
I've heard something very, very similar. I think when I heard it, it was like El Shawaddy or something when it came out.
El Shaddai.
Oh, have you? El Shaddai, yeah. Oh dear, mate. According to the Taxman, Dana only sells cheap games. Yeah, El Shaddai. There we go. I think Al has that game. Yeah, Al showed it during his live stream. So yeah, how is your daddy? Is the other one? That's a follow up, I believe. Oh dear. Is that it, Rob? Or you got anything else?
No, I mean that's it. I mean, if you want a quick indie game that I could recommend, I played a game called Kinduo, Kinduo. It is an easy 1000G, by the way, Al. But you do actually have to play through the entire game. I think it's 30 levels and a special level. But it's a little puzzle game, and it's a lot of fun as well. It's not a chore to complete, nothing like that. You know, it's not one case of let's get through this 1000G. There's actually a lot of fun to play. It's a 2D platformer. Everything's basically on one screen. And you can liken it a little bit to Brothers Tale of Two Sons, where you have two characters and they both got a different ability. One does pushing because he's heavy, and the other one does the jumping because he's light and he's an electric spark, and he also triggers off switches and things like that. And you have to get them both out the door by moving things around and triggering things. And it was actually a lot of fun. I didn't use a guide or anything like that to get I genuinely enjoyed playing the 1000G out of it. So if you want a quick indie game for Indie Corner, that's what I played. I think it was only last week as well. But yeah, no, a lot of fun. Only cheap games. It was only like £4 something, or even more like that. But no, I say it was a lot of fun. So I really enjoyed it. So I'll chuck that one out there just to keep my reputation of playing indie games up.
Just quickly, have you played El Gaucho yet?
No, it looked fucking horrendous.
Yeah, no, I was talking about it earlier. It's horrible.
No, I thought by your stream where you're playing it. I don't want. I might play it one day if it turns up cheap in the sale. But yeah, it's not one I'll be rushing to.
Yeah.
Yes, any children listening, I apologise for the use of language there. Forgot where he was. You didn't think you wore before he came on, did you, Rob? That's what it was.
Mate, you know I'm an absolute very person when I talk, so sorry.
No, it's all right, mate. It's all right. It's all right.
My stuff pre-recorded normally.
That's right.
Yeah.
Very, very quickly, because I know you did a video on it recently, but anybody who's interested, Gamer Score updates, you're getting very, very close to the magic million, aren't you?
Right. Hang on a minute, it's only behind me for the exact figure. Where are we? 930,760.
Getting very close.
So yeah, just under 70,000 away. But yeah, getting very close.
Excellent.
There's an achievement I want to use for the million, which takes a lot of setup work. So I don't really want to go shooting through it too quickly at the moment, because I'm going for marginal characters up to level 20 on Plants vs. Zombies Battle for the Neighborville. I've only done 4, and there's 20 to do, and each one takes, 10 hours each, 8 to 10 hours each to get to master level, and I've only done 4. So, bit of work to do. I think it's because the achievement's called something like it's seriously time to get more sunshine or something. I thought that was quite apt to finally get into a million gaming score, because there's a lot of time indoors.
That's right.
Time to go outside or something, wasn't it? I remember you saying it.
There used to be a level where you used to play Football Manager too long, and you used to say time to change your underwear or something. That was it. If you 24 hours or something, it was like time to change your underwear. Yeah. I used to get laughed at when I was playing that.
I'm just getting the achievement list up now. What's it called? Where are you? Time to seriously go outside, it's called. There you go.
Get some vitamin D on your skin. That's what it is. Otherwise, you will end up looking like a zombie, I suppose. That's probably the way of doing it. So, quite out with that one. Guys, thanks very much for filling those in. Anybody go back and scan through those, and if you've got anything that you want to pick up from the lads there and go and try, do let us know if you've had a go at it or if you can recommend anything else that you've been playing this week. Stick in the comments below. People popping back and have a look at this during the week. We'll pick those up as well.
What about yourself, there?
Mate,
Yeah.
I don't play anything.
He played Fall Guys on Friday, and that's it.
Yeah, Four Guys on Friday. That's all I do. 4 Guys on Friday. It's like your cod. They want to see about my 4 Guy fails. That's all it is. No, I haven't actually. Not this week. I will be playing more next week though. So probably on the next episode, I'll be able to actually contribute. But no, I ask the questions. Look for you to provide the answers. Everyone knows I don't play games. I just fill my room with stuff.
Yeah.
Got the safest place if the Russians start bombing us. Everybody want to move around here. I've already had inquiries from people saying, "Can I come and live in your gaming pantry?
Nuclear
Protect by all the plastic you got around here."
You'll never get past that weevil.
They won't. No, it's solid, mate. Yeah. You look. Yeah. You have to the other side of your face, or whichever face size left on after it. When the bombs drop. What happened on Friday's stream? Yeah.
Not a lot.
Yeah, not a lot. That was confined to history, that one, I'm afraid. So, not one of the best ones. Anyway, we'll move on from that. Guys, thanks very much for that. Let's now move on to our subject of the week. We talked about, in reference to what Al did last week, which was his 24-hour stream for charity. We have three people here tonight who have done in the last, I'm guessing, nearly 2 years now, isn't it? I think Rob did the first one.
I think mine was 2020, wasn't it?
Yeah, you were 2020. Femi Chicky was 2022. Yeah. Where the guys have decided to do a 24-hour stream in aid of good causes. As gamers, this is something we like to do and put a little bit back. And it's nice that people get involved and done it. And the worked in 3 different ways, I suppose, really, in the way people have helped out and contributed and got involved in. Rob, you were the first one to do it. So back in 2020. This was at the height of the first COVID wave that we had. And I mean, I say what inspired you to do that. Obviously, I know what inspired you to do it, and the charity you did it for. But when you came up with the idea of doing it, I mean, what was your thought process involved? What did you want to achieve with it?
It came about because obviously everyone knows that I'm in the aviation industry, so as you can imagine, it was one of the worst affected for needing to be working. My first furlough spell was 5.5 months, and it got to the point where I was sitting indoors, and the NHS was under. This was back in the days we were clapping out the window and doing all that sort of stuff. And I just thought, what can I do more than just clapping out the window? Largely influenced as well by the fact that I've got a friend, a very good friend of mine, close to my heart. She's a nurse, and she was quite literally on the front line. By that I mean, she was going to work. This guy's got COVID. Look after him, sort of thing. She was on the front line, and obviously that was when a lot of people were obviously dying from it, and basically she's putting her life at risk to try and save others. And I thought that's pretty amazing that people do that, And I was sitting at home doing pretty much sweet FA because I couldn't do anything. I was literally just told to stay inside and sort of help that way. But I thought, well, what can I do to help and raise money for charity while I'm at home? Obviously, I've got all the time in the world, unfortunately. And I thought, do you know what? I'll look into the charities, and there was a specific NHS one which helps the staff, doing and supporting COVID. And I thought, well, I'll do that. With my friend in mind, but with everyone in mind, basically, that's got to deal with that. So it become very easy for me to do because I had the time and that. So that's why I set up and did it. And, I was really pleased with how it went and how successful it was. Because bear in mind, that was back in my very early YouTube days as well. I only had a couple of hundred subscribers and that as well. I would have been happy to make 100 quid. And I think I topped out at 300. I think it was
about 300 mark, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I was really, really surprised with that. But before I go into stories about it, are we just talking about how we and why sort of thing at the moment? Because
We'll obviously get the other guys' experiences, and then if you want to add anything else after that, and we can go through those as well. So.
But the stream itself, Do you know what I was going to say? I've been very fortunate that I say very fortunate. I don't sleep much anyway. Part of my own personal problems, should we say? And I only get like 4 or 5 hours a night on a good night. So it wasn't too bad. I mean, the night getting through the night was actually all right. I remember the real part for me was the last hour. I was literally fine 100% of the way through. I had like can of Monster on beside me pretty much at all times. Once I'm in the fridge and that sugary snacks, obviously that help. That always helps keep your energy up and things like that. But the last hour just hit, and I just remember it was literally like I suppose it was for me it was the equivalent of a marathon runner hitting the wall as they do, and they have to sort of power through and keep going. But for me, I remember the last hour I was playing the Mega Drive collection. I think playing Mega Drive games to get people to shout games out, and I wasn't doing very well, and my words were starting to go a little bit all over the place as well. But yeah, I was literally fine for like 23 hours, and then the last hour hit sort of thing.
Was it Streets of Rage you finished on, if I remember?
I don't even remember. I think I was that tired. I can't even remember, mate. I was going to say
it was definitely a fighter or a side scrolling.
It probably was. But I lost all the footage because it was again. I think I also had the same thing. It was it was a 24-hour thing because I had it running on YouTube, but without the audio. Obviously, I was playing it through Mixer, which doesn't even exist as well. So that's why it's gone from there as well. Because that died over a year ago now. So I've got no reference for it. I mean, I think the page still exists. It's still there. If you look at it, you can go back and look at it. And but that last hour. That's like the things if you remember about it, I always look at it. Would I do it again? Absolutely. And I thought about doing it again. In all honesty, I was going to do it another one sort of a year on the anniversary of it and celebrate it a little bit, but it would have fallen a week after Mr. Chickens. So, and I saw your cause, by the way, as well. And as a mental health sufferer, unfortunately, anxiety and all that bollocks, let's not go too deep into that right now. I was more than happy just to not do one and step aside and try and help, promote yours as much as possible. So I was more than happy with that. And I am thinking of one again, by the way. I might as well. It's the idea that's buzzing around in my head now. It's a little bit of it's no major twist, or it's a little bit of an extra idea. And I've got a week off in June, and I'm thinking about doing it again this year in June. Because the anniversary of it again would have been around about the time how it is. So,
we'll have to keep us posted on that, Rob, because obviously we want to make sure you get the.
But no, I mean, the reason why I kind of want to do on this year is because the news in Ukraine, obviously, I know a lot of people, it's they've processed the news in their own way. But for me, I just find it quite hard to take. I think the photo that done me was when there was a dead pregnant woman being carried out of a hospital with an unborn child, and that set me off. And I was like, I have to do something for this. So it got my mind worrying again, and I was just thinking, well, I've got a week off in June. I would guess they would still need money by then. So that's what the thought process is at the moment. It's nothing set in stone, but I've got an idea to make it a little different from the last time I did it. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Oh, good, mate. Well,
good,
do
mate.
keep us posted on that. I'm pretty sure everybody listening and watching will be very keen to see what you come up with for that one. Just a few comments before I come to Feed Me Chicken about his. Rachel says, her flat looks like the Russians have already been through it, which is interesting. Joe, I think Joe works in the care home sector as well. I know, I think you may have mentioned at the time. Yeah. So I know she worked through that and very, very hard work. She also does a few charity walks as well, which is great to hear. Gordon Give84 is here as well, previous guest on the podcast. Good to see Gordon. Right, it's like something for charity, though. I'd gone for a big finish going over the line in the 10K, but they show you the footage you crossing the line, and she looked like Lurch creeping across the Oh, dear me. Oh, man.
Well done for that. 10K.
10K, yeah, I know. Right. Yeah. Oh, I think I've walked 10,000.
Barely walk 10 steps these days.
Yeah, 10 steps. It's a difficult achievement, that is, It takes me less to get to the car in the morning, I think. Right, I've done Dukes of Hazzard style. Let's jump out the window and straight through it. So that was Rob's experience. Phoebe Chicken, to bring you in on yours. I mean, Rob was obviously for the NHS. You, as Rob mentioned, you did yours in aid of mental health.
Yep.
So what inspired you to do that yourself?
Joe, I feel I'm going to talk for a while now. This is mad. So well, because the weird thing is for me with my charity experience was that how I started out and what I wanted to achieve went far beyond what I could have envisioned or imagined. And so basically, I work with a couple of people who were involved with the Bearded Fisherman. Now they were newly set up, and it was more like mental health at that time was kind of a big topic. Finally, people were starting to open up, were starting to talk. Well, much like a few other tubers were doing at the time, it was time to talk, if that made sense. So my opportunity to do it fell at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it was about, right, here's another person that if you need someone to talk to, please go and talk to them. Again, it's through people at work, and I took inspiration from Macmillan. So before I got onto YouTube, I'd already done a 24-hour charity stream for Macmillan. So I'd already had kind of a little bit of experience, but obviously I had none of the technology or anything else to make it look good. I just did it with my phone facing the TV screen, So I had like a little bit of experience in going 24 hours. It came to it, all I wanted to do was literally, it wasn't about raising money for me. It was just about, look, I want people who don't feel they can talk to other people, can't talk to people that are close to them, or feel they can't open up. Well, you got someone who's a complete stranger, people who are designed to give you the time to talk. Regardless of how you think you're coming across, they're going to take the time to talk to you, listen to you. Do you know what I mean? At that time, I just felt like that was important. Get that message out. There's someone for you. At the same time, I mean, Retro Bay had had a charity at the same time. He was promoting their one as well. Again, mental health. It was that time, if that made sense.
That was the retro gamer quiz, which he's still doing at the moment, which I wanted to mention as well, because I know he's had to leave the chat, but yeah, he does that as well. Still carrying on with that as well.
But then that was my aim, and it then started to become more than I envisioned. So, it was wonderful to talk to a lot of other tubers. So I spoke to Ronaldinho prior to doing it. He was talking about how. So I didn't know about Ronaldinho Plays channel until I got onto YouTube. That makes sense. So I'd already missed that 24-hour stream. He was explaining to me, I've already done one. I did it for this, and this is the reason why. And I was like, wow, that's a lot to 24 hours. And he explained to me how the support he got, and I felt that that sort of support obviously went far and beyond anything I could ever have imagined. I spoke to the likes of Corbana, Gib 84, Retro Bay. The list goes on. I spoke to yourself, Retro Bay. I've spoken to Big Game Now. The list goes on, and I know these fantastic people just talking to me, going, right, look, you're doing a great thing here. Wish you all the success. Going to be there supporting you. And then, even during it, I had yourself, Retro Bay, I had Coop as well. Put out these mini, 1 minute shorts on, Phoebe Chicken's doing this charity thing. Get on it. I had Retro Clay, I think she was there the entire time. Big Game Out, he was there the entire time in the chat. And the weird thing for me is, and I'm going on and on, but I can't really put into words not only how important it was for me, but I can't tell you how great it felt to be supported. I'm not a big channel, and I will never be a big channel, but those who I know of watch my channel regularly, and although I've not really met anyone face to face, or I'm not on the phone with people constantly, it felt more I was supported. You know what I mean? And then us being supported here was supporting the charity, and that came out in a massive way, absolutely huge. And I had a different thing. So where I think Ronaldinho must have done it by himself, talking to people, and the same with Big Game Out, I would have found it more difficult. I was lucky in the way that I had arranged it so that I had people with me. So I was having that sort of banter close, because I'm quite a person who likes to be with people, and banter back and forth. I would find it hard to like look at the screen and then try and go back to the game, and then look at the screen and then go back to the game, and I'd get lost. And I'd completely lose the plot. So, and in many respects, I feel sorry to those who did support me because I was quite disconnected from the chat. We had the radio playing, and it was great that the music was fantastic. That's the feedback I got anyway. But I didn't. There wasn't much me communicating with people. Trying to like wave at the camera. Oh, I'm here. Trying to acknowledge people. But I think the chat was where people kept each other going, and that was really, really good. And from what I understand, it's really great that people enjoyed the radio station, enjoyed what was going on. But there was a slight disconnect between myself and those watching, which I feel really bad for because I didn't really communicate much. But yeah, just overall was just an overwhelming experience. It really was.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, go on, Rob. Yeah, come on.
No, I was just going to say to Mr. Chicken that I remember the night you did your shift, yours one, because I was on. We were going through a phase where we were having to do cargo shifts at night, basically, because that was all available work-wise. And I was working at 2 a.m. until whatever. And by the way, your music and your stream was entertaining in our. I was going to the cargo shift that night. Finish that, Bear.
Sorry.
Yeah. It was good that you had the music going on as well, because obviously we were working and we couldn't really sort of have our eyes fixed on. I think it was my phone on the side blaring out, but it was good that you had music going. So we was there listening as well as having a look every now and again, sort of thing. There was about half a dozen of us listening in that night, so that was good. But the one thing you just reminded me of for your little story there was about the support that you get. For me, the one thing that, believe it or not, even though I forgot to say it a minute ago, the one thing that does really stick in my mind, which I won't forget, it will come around every now and again, which I won't forget, sorry, is it's just that everybody turned up at the end. All of a sudden, I remember that I could see the count, there's only 15 minutes to go, and I could see the view count on Mixer go from like 8 to about 30 in the space of a minute. All of a sudden, like everyone had come for the last sort of 10 minutes of the stream, and that was pretty amazing as well. It really sort of woke you up again, sort of at the end to say thank you.
Can I just say something though? Because I want to mention something about the last hour. So I was nodding my head when Gonaldinho was like, that last hour was like a brick wall. So I think I was playing FIFA, and at the time I think we were starting to drop out. So we went. I think it was me and my work colleague Michael Fraser. So we were the last two. And the reason he had to move away wasn't just because he was tired and his eyes were hurting from the screen, but he started to smell something really funky. And I was speaking to Ink Northerner about it after I finished. I started to feel really ill. When I was hitting that brick wall, I started to feel really ill and I couldn't figure it out, right? So after the stream had ended, and after we'd done like this little chat, which apparently got cut off, I took the mask off. And oh my God, it stunk. Absolutely fucking stunk. I'll tell you, it was awful, absolutely dreadful. And I couldn't. As soon as you took it off, it's like a cartoon, when like you see the whiffy smells come out from something that's been moved.
What I want to know is, did your face look like you just had, like your hands after you've been in the bath an hour?
Do you know what? I think my face was red and just not very well, but yeah, it was absolutely awful. I couldn't figure out why. I just felt ill for no reason. And it must have just been breathing in. That was it. It's like, oh.
I think you've answered the question that most people wanted to ask after you did that stream. Was how did the mask smell afterwards? But yeah, oh jeez, I can imagine.
It wasn't. But it wasn't just as soon as that mask came off, so I didn't realise it was smelling so bad. But anyone who's in like a really close proximity really badly smelled it. So like, I mean, you got the talking throat, obviously the condensation from the heat of my mouth and talking to everyone else. Obviously, it was it was hot in there, obviously warm and everything. So all the sweat, everything combined, just must have been absolutely dreadful.
Oh dear. Just got the comments from the chat as well about people doing charity work. Eddie's done a couple of 10k runs for Alzheimer's. Stu's retro reviews on the Great North Run a couple of times as well. Eddie says charity fundraisers is a great way to help yourself learn about things you never knew you could do before, at the same time as helping people less fortunate as yourself. Gordon mentions this, which I remember at the time. You turned down his offer of him buying you a takeaway, wasn't it? I think he offered to get a takeaway sent in, didn't he?
The thing. I know this is probably going to sound really strange, right? But a lot of people, you don't see my face. You don't know who obviously I am, and I don't really kind of. Not many people like talk regularly type thing. You know what I mean? Like, I know people, and I'm starting to talk to people a lot more. But that's sort of like someone who doesn't know me wants to buy everyone food. I mean, the generosity was incredible, and thank you to everyone. I can't, from the bottom of my heart, seriously, it was fantastic. But you can't just accept, oh, someone's going to pay for my food when I'm just literally here, just wanting to spread the word that someone's here for you to talk to if you need it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't accept it. Yeah, it wasn't. I'm refusing it just point blank. Like, it's just I can't do that. I'm not. Everything just blew my mind that day. And again, I'm rambling on, and I apologize, but there's so much, and I really genuinely couldn't believe the support. It still is mind blowing to this day. Hopefully that's coming through, but it was incredible, absolutely incredible.
It's amazing that the memories like that will stay with you, and they have done. Over the course of the last sort of 9 months or so since you did it, or 12 months. Summer, wasn't it? Summer last year.
Yeah.
You never think you forget things like that. And I remember as soon as Gordon put that in the chat, I thought, yeah, I remember that. I remember sitting there. He's going to sort of get a takeaway in for you. So I mean, that's.
Yeah,
But then again, people were so happy to donate their time in the chat
goodness.
and the money and all the kind offers and things like that. So we'll come back. I've got a couple of questions that I want to put to you, all three of you, so we'll get to that in a second. Meanwhile, Jim's here. Called Banner. Good evening to you. I know Jim was in that stream as well, that one with Chicken, so he was in the chat most of that time as well. So you did yours as recently as last weekend, Al.
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about your experience putting all that together, and why you wanted to do the charity stream.
Well, I just want to say quickly to Feed Me Chicken, although he didn't say much in that charity stream, the DJs he had on actually was reading out the comments and stuff live on the radio, and it was absolutely brilliant getting our names read out and stuff. And they was taking requests for songs we wanted. So good credit to them for actually interact. They could have just done their job and just carried on, but they was actually interacting with the people watching, and they kept us all entertained with good music and just talking to us.
The music was brilliant. I mean, I think when you started doing it, I think we were still there at 1:30, and I was talking music with Adam, Amiga Old School, and you mentioned the request. I know Mark got his request in Geordie Slasher for Westlife. So it added so much. Like you said, you didn't need to be talking so much because the DJs were running the radio station. We were doing all that for you, and it was, as Al said, it was great. Sorry, Al.
Because also, like what Rob was saying earlier, like him and his mates all at work listening to you. I was actually at work on the Sunday, and I had you on YouTube on my iPad, and there was about 6 of us sitting in the van just watching your stream, like getting the music requested. It was brilliant. Kept us entertained that Sunday. But yeah, with like the charity stuff, as you know, or some of you might not know, I try and do something for charity every year. Like 2019, I think I'd done. Well, I know what I'd done. It was for Uganda. Right. They was having a bit of a crisis out there and stuff.
Was that the Ebola stuff? No,
I think it was. Yeah.
They
were having a bit of a crisis there. So I actually, looking at the size of me, I actually done a 5K walk for charity. Well, it's meant to be a run, but I did a walk, and I actually done it in. I actually done it in 47 minutes. Believe it or not, 5K.
That's not bad.
I did jog a little bit of it, but it was getting to me. I ended up walking most of it. I was at the back with the person that walks with you. The old pacemaker making sure you're all right. But I've done that one. 2020, I didn't do anything as such of like doing events, like something to do, but I did it for the Macmillan's Cancer Research. And I think I did put like a couple of links in groups and stuff, and people did donate for that, but I didn't actually do something for it. And then obviously last year I done the 5 days for £5 challenge in aid of people living on the breadline.
Yeah.
And then this year I thought it's all right me putting out my own charity. I was thinking, do I do Macmillan again? Do I do mine? Do I do something for Ukraine? And I thought, no, I'm gonna put it out there in a video and let the people who subscribe to me all put down a charity they want, and then we obviously spun the wheel to see what won it.
Mm-hmm.
And so this year I've done it for Mayhew, who are a dog and cat rescue and rehoming charity, which Gathered Steve mentioned because, as he said, he's actually got 2 rescue dogs from them, and he really likes the work they do, and it was just great fun doing it for them. I mean, I could have picked any charity I wanted, but it was good that someone else got to pick it rather than me just going, "Oh, I'm doing it for this one this time."
Yeah.
Although there is a few that I could have done. Like, I want to do one for the Samaritans because obviously, if people don't know, I work in the travel industry, on the trains mainly, and Samaritans is a big part of it because we get so many people that jump in front of trains every year, and we just need to get the word out that there is someone there to talk to and getting the Samaritans out there. So I think maybe I might even do one at the end of this year or the start of next year. I don't know, but I want to do something for them. But yeah, like I say, I've done the few challenges here and there, and I thought, right, I'm a gaming channel. Let's play games for 24 hours and get people to do it that way. I was going to try and do like longer, but I'm glad I didn't because as you both said, it weren't even the last hour for me. The last hour was fine. If anyone was watching live, I got to about 7 in the morning. So it's about 3 hours before the stream was finishing. I was playing that unicorn game, which is absolutely awful. And it was sending me to sleep. And I had to stand up and walk around my room. I couldn't even sit down. And then Wasabi James was in the comments and he said, "Should we get on Fall Guys?" And I was like, "Yeah, come on, let's get on Fall Guys." And that having the people to talk to on there, although like it weren't coming through at that time because we haven't figured out how to get it through on the thing, but I could hear them.
Yeah.
So having the people there to talk to, like yourself when you jumped on, Russ, Pedro, everyone else who jumped in, Ian and all them, it was just brilliant to have the people in there just to chat to me and keep me going. Because without that, I reckon I would have been passed out by 8 o'clock and never made it to 10.
Well, you say jumped on. I think the exact word for me was has to get out of bed. Has to get out of bed at 8:30 and keep our company for the last hour and a half. I think that's how it was put. But no, it wasn't. But
yeah,
wasn't a problem at all.
This community is absolutely fantastic because I'm sure without the people watching, you two would have both drifted off before that last hour. And as you said, like that last hour, what do we have? Like 30 people come in again?
Yeah, you about 28 people at the end, I think it was. Yeah,
just for like that last half an hour, just to like push us along the line and stuff. So, but yeah, I played some rubbish during that stream. I played some good stuff during that stream. But there was a constant. There was at least 6 people throughout, even through the night shift. I mean, big thanks to Trevor because without him, I reckon I would have fell asleep during that night shift. I was playing them indie games, and I weren't enjoying some of the ones that I'd picked to play. So he said, "Should we jump on Crash Time?" Crash Course?
Crash Course, yeah.
So we jumped on Crash Course, and he let me beat him once to get an achievement. He smashed me in every other one. But yeah, we knocked out quite a few achievements on that, and it was just enjoyable to play. I mean, I had to turn that off towards the end because you do need a lot of concentration on that, especially like when you get to like the Japanese levels on it. But yeah, and then I played a game of FIFA, which really woke me up because the guy annoyed me so much. If anyone watched that, you'd probably never seen me rage before. that really woke me up. But then getting on Fall Guys for that last couple of hours, 3 hours, whatever it was just enjoyable. And the amount of people that jumped on for the custom games then was unbelievable. I think we had just as many in the morning as we did on the evening.
That's right.
Which was quite a surprise. But yeah, I'll definitely do it again.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll just go to quick comments and we'll come back because I'll question ask all 3 of you. Ross is here as well. Ian just made a comment here about Ross's latest video. If you haven't seen that, it's absolutely brilliant. And
review?
Ross has done it. It's a review of the latest Grid game, and it's absolutely fantastic. If you've not had a chance to catch up with it, do go across. And I watched it this morning. It really is brilliant the way he's done it, and I hope a few of you go across to have a look at that. Rach said me and a friend were late to a 5K park run. We were behind the people picking up the cones. And if anyone knows there is any fires up north, Jim's kitchen may have caught fire. So if you do see that later on the news, that'll be what it was. Hopefully he's okay. He hasn't come back yet. He posted that about 3 minutes ago, so I hope he's all right. So we can check him a bit later to make sure he's all right.
Before you jump on, Russ, to the next one,
yes.
I just want to mention that Chile also done a 24-hour stream last year, and that was really good as well. I mean, he didn't play the games that I wanted to see him play because he was playing all them RPGs and stuff, but
yeah,
he done well, raised a lot of money, and he stayed awake for the whole 24 hours, and I watched a lot of that.
You are right. He did remember that now. Yes, I forgot to mention that because I did pop in a couple of times and have a look at that myself. Just before I ask you a question, I want to ask all three of you. So I think you will be covering what you've done. Sean, I mean, have you been inspired to do a 24-hour live stream? Because I was talking with Alan Chicken before we came on, and Al mentioned, when you're going to do yours. I'm like, I don't want to see, don't see me for 24 hours. It's bad enough seeing me for 2 hours every other Sunday on this stream. But I mean, have you been inspired by the achievements of these fine three fine gentlemen here to do something yourself like that, or would you consider doing something like that? Or
first things first, I've got full admiration for you three guys. I couldn't do it. I honestly could not do 24 hours. Playing games. I have thought about doing 24-hour charity snooze. I reckon I've done that with ease. But no, I mean, a 24-hour gaming marathon, I could not do it. Even playing games that I enjoy, I can play COD for a few hours. But I must admit, even after a few hours, I do start to get a little bit tired of it, but yeah, like I said, even playing my favourite games, I really won't be able to do it. It takes a lot of doing, and as these guys have already said, it's great that they've got the community to back them up, to comment and interact, which I'm sure is a massive help to you guys. I mean, don't get me wrong. Obviously, I've thought about it, and I thought, well, do you have to do 24 hours? Maybe you could do something else. But I can't really think of anything that'd suffice. I think the standard is, the 24-hour gaming marathon that these guys have done. But not for me, guys. Like I said, a lot of admiration for you three. But
I'll tell you, it starts off as a little bit of an endurance test to thinking you're staying awake, and then you realise it's more than just endurance; it's concentration as well. There comes a point when you realise concentration is now a massive factor as well. Because otherwise, you're just a guy continuously, running off the edge of a platform. You've got to actually think.
Stuart said he couldn't do 24 hours either, but he's got the greatest amount of respect for the lads on tonight. As Ross said, it doesn't have to be 24 hours. I mean, you can do a 12-hour stream, but I suppose the bar's been set, really. Most people have done 12 hours. I think if I did something like that, most of the time, be sitting me going, "What shall I play now?" I'm gonna be sitting going, "I'll get that one out." No.
You could get your gaming done in one hit, couldn't you?
I could what? Sorry.
Get your year's gaming done in one hit, couldn't you?
I could do. I'll take the rest of the year off then. Give people a rest. Before again, I'll get to this question in a second. Rob, what's the significance of that game on your screen at the moment?
Oh, nothing. I just thought I'd open it up and show you that it's got the right disc inside. That's all. No, I've got the Olympic game in it. It's got the right disc in it.
Yeah. Would you like to fill us in, Al, as to what that
is? Don't show my address. I've got to take it back. I've got to go tomorrow. But yeah, I opened it up and it's got London 2012 in.
Oh, just show that again, Al. Would you? Al, just show that again. Yeah.
So
When
I've
you-
got this lovely game here. It's Winter Sports The Next Challenge 2009. And I thought, oh, lovely. And I opened it up. London 2012.
2012.
So
And
it just shows that CEX are no good.
and that's what it should look like. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to say that was the only one. But this was meant to be Rugby League 3, and they've sent me Rugby League 1. And I also got Summer Athletics 2009 with just normal Summer Athletics in it, not 2009.
Has that been confirmed as incorrect now, has it?
I believe it is. I haven't confirmed it, but I'm sure Rob's about to do it now. Live.
Trevor, meantime, said if someone can point me in the right direction of how to do one, he'd have a go at a 24-hour stream in terms of the equipment needed.
Yeah, I can confirm it is wrong.
Let's have a look. So Al's got this one here, which is Summer Athletics, and Rob has Summer Athletics 2009.
And I can confirm he's put wrong here because here is Summer Athletics, and now they match.
Yeah.
Matt.
There we go. So there's a couple of wrong ones there, which goes to show you should always check your game case. But I know Al, you bought those off CX online, didn't you? So
Yeah.
you wouldn't have been able to see those. But always goes to show it doesn't necessarily mean what's on the outside of the box, what's on the inside. It's the old thing there.
That's actually a different game. That's Josh your Daddy now.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people slag CEX off, but if you order something offline, you just take it back, and they just take it back, no problem. So at least you got that behind you.
So I will mention it because Steve's here, and I don't want to leave him out. He could do a 24-hour shite at the moment. Today's burger's catching up and arse like a butcher's caravan.
Great info.
Yep. Well, I didn't want to ignore him because he's gone to the effort to post that. Jim says, Jim's come back from his fire. He's obviously put the fire out. I'd love to do one. Maybe we consider 24, 48-hour stream where we tag people in and out with 4, 6, 8, 10, 12-hour shifts. That's not a bad idea,
That's
actually.
a good idea.
There's something to do with that. And that means, people can give up some time and not necessarily commit to a full 24 hours or whatever it is. Al Shaddad is back in the window as well, just to rub that in. So the question I wanted to ask, which I'm going to get to now, is when you put these, obviously you got the idea of doing the 24-hour stream, but excuse me, what did you want the format to be? Did you sort of sit down and say, well, I know Al put an itinerary out before we started these, but I mean, in terms of all three of you, and I'll start with Rob, what was, did you work out what you were going to do beforehand, what you wanted to try and achieve with it, how you wanted to structure it, or did you just say, I'm just going to just play games for 24 hours? Was there any thought process involved?
I'd like to say there was a lot of thought process going into it, but there really wasn't a great deal with regards to what I'm going to do. I know Al did a proper schedule and things like that, which is pretty cool actually, because I actually kind of look forward to the CX roulette hour, and I made sure I had my break at work so I could actually sit down and watch it. I did have it on at work, but I had it on at the computer sort of at the end of where I work. But I had my bomb break when that started. So it's cool if you can do that. But I was going to say I pretty much didn't have a structure. I didn't know how long I was going to spend with each game. I remember I played one Call of Duty game for quite a while to get a specific achievement out of it. You had to finish each level once without dying, at least once, and for an achievement. So I did that. That took up a while. But I just had a group of games that in mind, like I'd had, I think my Mega Drive collection was on disc. That was the one that stayed in the console. Then everything else I had was already on the hard drive. So I made sure I had sort of some that I could do for achievements. Sort of certainly through the night when I knew not a lot of people would be watching. That was when I sort of did the less popular ones in my head to watch that I did. But I had I did the Street Fighter collection as well. I had that on standby because there's lots of games there, and I knew that when I could sit down and eat for half an hour. I didn't even sit down for, I think it was only 50 minutes I was down for. I could leave demo on that running literally while I was eating. So I had that timed around for the evening slot. But yeah, the compilation I thought was nice because it's just literally you could have people shout out, look at what's on this disc compilation and shout one out and I'll play it for a bit. And, and a few people did. And I did really badly because it was the last hour, like I said, and I was trying to stay awake. But no, I didn't really have too much structuring or scheduling going into it. I just had a pool of games that I knew that I had well over 24 hours worth of longevity out of it to get through it, and there wouldn't be a risk of a pull sort of thing, you know. So yeah, no, that was pretty much it.
Okay. Phoebe Chicken, because what about the choice of games that you put into yours? Again, was that decided beforehand you were going to play a certain sort of game that you'd obviously, you got other people playing with you rather than the other two guys? I mean, I know Al had the four guys section as well, but Rob was obviously playing his on his own. What about yourself? I mean, did you think about what games you wanted to put in there beforehand, or?
I'm guessing the best way to put it would be I winged it.
Hey!
Hey!
He's here all week.
I'm not here all week, trust me. That's as good as it gets. So, I think, in all honesty, the way I just had it was that I had these consoles because I had to play through HDMI upscaler. So, if those who watched it remember, we would basically use a projector onto a projector screen. So there was no HDMI port for it. So it kind of went through the composite went into it, and it was upgraded. And and obviously I wanted to keep it as retro as possible. So it just made more sense to get those consoles that had 4 controller ports and go from there. Which incidentally was a good thing because I started off with a Dreamcast and it decided to keep switching itself off. So that kind of went to one side and didn't get played.
Technical problems.
Yeah, and I'll tell you one of the issues I did have was obviously wearing a mask. My sight is slightly hindered. I couldn't actually figure out which lead was which lead to which console to get plugged in. So I kept having to ask whoever was beside me, "Can you just plug it in?" Because I can't do shit. Basically, but the thing is, I mean, doing these things, I know obviously the aim is to either raise money or raise awareness or both at the same time. But it gives you it gives you not only the opportunity to obviously communicate with other people either next to you or outside the screen that you're in. But you also get the opportunity to try games you probably wouldn't try before. So I literally had probably I want to say about 4 bags for life, but full of like games that were multiplayer orientated across all systems that I carried there. So it was good to be able to have that thing. But no, literally, pun intended, it was winged. It was like, right, this game's got a bit Boros style. Right, let's try something else, and let's try this or try that, or we'll try a different system. It wasn't planned or anything. Let's just go with the flow sort of thing.
Yeah. Also, I know you came up with an itinerary. What was the?
We didn't stick to it, did we?
Well, I know. Yeah, because we're having two for the 4 guys. Obviously, the Unicorn Princess was sending you to sleep. But I mean, what was the thought process behind picking those games to start with? Because I know when you sort of release the itinerary, people to meet things. Oh, well, you're playing FIFA for.
Well, the reason I've done FIFA was because I had a couple of like quite hard achievements ready to pop straight away. Obviously, like playing 200 games with one player in Ultimate Team takes a long time to get. So I had that one ready. I can't remember what the other one was now. There was something else ready. Oh, getting the 2,000 points in Ultimate Team to get the end of the weekend lead. I had both of them ready to go. So I thought they're like ones you're not just going to turn the system on and in 10 minutes you're going to get. They take days. You're looking at like, 10, 15 minutes a match, and you've got to play 200 of them. So I know people weren't interested in FIFA, but I wanted the itinerary there so people can go, oh, he's doing this at this time, I'll tune in then. Rather than, I know a lot of people watch the whole lot, but some of them might have gone, oh, I'm not interested in that. Oh, he's doing Mega Drive, then I'll definitely pop on for then. Or, oh, he's playing this game, I don't know what it is, I'll check it out, see if it's any good. And I've done the same as Rob with like the achievement stuff. I've done it through the night when you're going to have the least amount of viewers, because I know a lot of people are not into that.
And also late. May I add? You were also late doing that as well.
Yeah, that was Fall Guys' fault.
I thought, oh, brilliant. That's around about when I started getting my bus home from work, and I can see I'm watching the achievement hunting, and I was like, right, this is not on now. But no, it's all right.
Yeah, that's for us. We didn't quite stick to the plan because we was having so much fun on Fall Guys. We had so many people on there. And,
that's all right. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
And then we was going to go straight into achievement hunting, but Eddie wanted to see me playing SNES games, so we done an hour of SNES just to give people what they wanted to see, and then obviously that unicorn game in the morning, I played it for about an hour, and that had to go off because that was sending me asleep.
Not a good choice.
Like, what do I play now? Because my itinerary says I'm going to be playing this. And then as soon as James went, let's play Fall Guys, I went, come on in, let's play it. And then we ended up playing Fall Guys again for another like 2.5, 3 hours, whatever it was.
Until the end, wasn't it? Yeah.
I think the itinerary is good in a way of like the people that watch like different games and different types of games. So if you give them a bit of mixture of everything, they can go, oh yeah, he's doing Mega Drive at 2:00. I'll definitely be there at 2:00. He's opening CEX Roulette at 7, like Rob said, where he's at work. He made sure he had his lunch break at 7 to watch that. It just gives people the chance to like know what time I was doing something. So if they did have to go out and do shopping, like a lot of people said they're going to do shopping and going out and stuff. They made sure they've done it when I was doing the FIFA bit, or they made sure I was doing it when I was doing the Mega Drive if they're a Nintendo fan or whatever. So
I couldn't help but laugh at when you started and the very first thing you did was crash on the first corner.
Oh
yes.
I thought this could be a long night.
That's what I said to Claire. I said, yeah, this is going to take a while, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, I'm not very good at that game. That's why it's taking me so long to complete it.
And then you right through it and put it on the easy level.
I know. I put it on the easiest level. It's still no. The only thing was like a grace for me is when they have to repair their own cars, and they knock about 2 minutes off each lap. Otherwise, I'll be screwed.
Just quickly going to dip into the comments. A few people coming. Retro Ram Liam's in. Good evening, Liam. Hope you're well. He's on the lookout for an Amstrad, apparently. Some bit of an 8-bit resurgence going on at the moment. If you've not picked up on that, it's quite a few people picking up 8-bit consoles. Just take 8-bit micros at the moment, as you say. That's somebody else who has done so. Is Retro Chef. He's here. Good evening, Lee. Hope you're all right. Let's go through. There we go. Hello. Yeah, Lee. Sean's got his Guinness out as well, even though he's going to work in the morning. In terms of, obviously, me eating and drinking, which is another thing I wanted to ask as well. I mean, I know Al sort of showed off his bag of goodies, which I'm quite glad he didn't get all the way through, because he may have ended up in hospital, possibly at some point, carted off by a paramedic halfway through it. But I mean, again, how did you get around that? Because eating and drinking, and obviously various calls of nature during the course of it. I mean, it must have been very difficult to, you couldn't just sort of drop everything for 20 minutes and clear off and go and do it. You had to sort of supplement yourself as you went along.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's pretty much a case of every time you need to go out, they can just be right back in the chat and explain why, just quickly type it out and sort of things like that. I live in a ground floor flat. Everything's on one level. Toilet's literally 5 seconds away to walk to. But yeah, I had a little table next to me, a chair in front of the TV, and it was just full of. I was going to say you needed some sort of sugariness for the energy to keep you awake. Obviously, sugar helps. But yeah, and like I said, I had the frozen pizza in the freezer ready, waiting for when that was going. So I literally had to get up, turn the oven on, and then sit back down, carry on, wait for it to heat up, and then put it in the oven. 20 minutes later, go back, and then as I say, it took me 10 minutes to sort of stop. I even put in the chat, but demo mode running. Just eating won't be long, sort of thing. But to be honest, I never found myself needing to stop much at all. I think I only went for a Jimmy a couple of times during the whole stream, and that was it. I didn't really need much. I don't know why, but stopping was never really an issue. Certainly not for long. I think I literally managed, apart from about 10 minutes to eat the pizza and getting up for split seconds, hardly stopped at all.
Feed me chicken.
All right, so I'm those who don't know much about me, but I'm a really fussy eater, so I was actually easily pleased with what I took. So I literally had Kit Kats, I had about 10 cans of Monster with me. Didn't drink them all before anyone starts thinking I should have killed over a heart attack. I had 6 soft white rolls, and that was me for the night. Obviously, I left a few times to obviously use the toilet, but there was always someone there playing a game, so there was 24 hours of constant game. Like I said, when it comes to the way I did it, I had it the easier option, so I had people there, so it wasn't like I had to worry about, oh, am I, some people might think, oh, 24 hours is 24 hours of solid gaming. Do you know what I mean? Like, no breaks, no nothing. You need to have 24. Well, even if you have the breaks, you need to make up that time. Well, obviously, I didn't because we had someone playing all the time. So it didn't matter whether I was there or if I wasn't there. But I think if I was to, like, roughly take the time out of all the hours I did, I think I must have been well over 24 hours of at least on screen there. So I don't think I did too bad. Yeah, I wasn't. I also had 6 1.5 liters bottles of water with me as well. So even my wife got on the stream and made sure that I was actually eating and drinking properly. I wasn't, but
because I think the conversation I had with Al after about 23 and a half hours was, how much water have you drunk? And he went, none.
No.
Yeah. I think I said, you're going to have piss the colour of rust at this rate. Which,
I can confirm. I'm nearly finished now.
But I mean, you had all the snacks with you, didn't you? Because you showed those off before you started doing it.
Yeah, I made the pasta, the tuna and sweet corn pasta, because I thought it's something you can just eat cold. So I made it the day before and just had it handy. And I didn't even. I made 3 of them. I ate 2.5. Not 1.5. Sorry, because I had the first one I opened up about lunchtime, and I think it took me till about 4 o'clock before I'd finished it. And it weren't even a big tub what I'd made. And yeah, I had the snacks. I bought 8 cans of 10 cans of Red Bull and only drunk 1. But I did have I did have 2 cans of the Costa coffee. So 3 energy drinks really, because I know a lot of all of you was going, oh, look at all them energy drinks, the same as like people you didn't drink them all. I had 3 energy drinks, which got me by, and I had the Pepsi Max, and I think I had 2 of them, and then a little sip of water. Yeah, 1 ton of tuna pasta.
1 ton of tuna pasta. Yeah,
yeah, it probably was with the 3 pots, but yeah, yeah, I bought quite a bit of stuff, but I had hardly any of it. I think I had 3 chocolate bars, 1.5 tubs of that pasta, and a couple of silly little bits here and there, but weren't like sweets.
Cut the bananas as well, didn't you? You had some bananas, didn't you?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, I had 2 bananas as well. That kept me going because I wanted to get some sort of fruit just to like keep me going a little bit rather than just having chocolate for 24 hours.
Crap, yeah, crap.
I thought I'd chuck a couple of them in there.
Yeah,
but yeah, it weren't too bad. What did I have, like party rings and stuff like that, just to keep me going, a little bit of sugar here and there. Just little picky bits, something like I can have in front of me, and then like every so often I can pick one up and eat it, sort of thing. I didn't want to like disappear and start cooking a dinner for an hour halfway through.
Yeah. Yeah, a few people have sort of like, did you ever have a pair of emergency underpants just in case? Retro Ram says.
I've got to say, I did have a bit of an emergency call of nature about 5 o'clock in the morning. I had to shoot to the toilet for about 5 minutes.
Ross says, tenor man is the key to success. Retro Ram said an adult nappy. He cut holes in his Super Mario pillowcase. Yeah, this is why Ali's setting up excess splatter all over the cases. James says, are you attempting to lower the asking prices due to damage? Ollie's arrived, 8-Bit Boys arrived at the wrong time. Good evening, Ollie. Hope you're well, my friend. Nice to see you here as well. Rachel loves party rings as well. Yeah. I've got one more question I want to ask the lads. Sean, have you got anything you want to ask them at all, or anything about it? Or?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we know it's for a good cause, but at any point throughout the challenge, guys, did you think you probably couldn't go on Did you hit a certain point where you thought, what have I done here? What have I let me send in for? Or did you not get that? Did you just think, look, it's for a good cause, I'm just going to soldier on?
No, not really. I've got to be honest, not really at all. As I say, that last hour I got a bit tired, but I love a endurance test challenge. I've got to be honest with you. So I thought, there's no way that this is never going to happen. 100% this is going to happen. This is going to be easy. I must admit, I did one year. I went on a stag do to Amsterdam, and we all got back from a night out, and we was like, shit, we got to get the whatever it was, people carriers is picking us up in about an hour and a half's time. And everybody's idea was, well, we'll quickly get an hour and a half sleep. And I was like, right, we all had a skinful here. If somebody doesn't stay up, we are not getting that to the airport. So I stayed up, got that, then got on the flight home, and then got home and then went to sleep. I worked out I was awake for well over 36 hours. So I know I've done a long stretch in the past. But boy, did I sleep for about 12 hours straight after that. I've got to be honest with you, it's the longest I've ever slept, I think, in my life. So I knew I had it in me to be able to do it, because I remembered that from the past as well. I was like, you can go for 36, you've done it once before, sort of thing, Never again, though. That was horrible. That was horrible. But, yeah, that was never not going to happen.
Phoebe Chicken.
Yeah, I was just sitting there thinking, like, I think I was probably, I might let myself down, if this makes sense. So we got towards the end, there must have been possibly 2 hours left, maybe an hour and a half, and suddenly people were donating like absolute crazy. I mean, we were starting to look at a figure that was absolutely absurd to my ears. But everyone started to get really overexcited, and I don't mean this in a bad way. So I'm trying to word this so it doesn't come across badly. But basically, to me, obviously the tiredness is kind of setting in. But the radio presenters were like, "Yes, come on, give more, give more." And to me, that wasn't my aim. My aim wasn't, I'm here to raise loads of money. I'm here to spread the word that, look, again, like I said before, this is somewhere where you can talk to someone if you need it. It wasn't about money. Obviously the donations that came through were phenomenal. Don't get me wrong, and everyone did. Obviously, the amount that was raised was, wow, wow, But I didn't want it to become. If it then sounded, to my mind, to my ears, it sounded like we were begging for people to donate more. Come on, deep, donate more. And I didn't want that. I just wanted people to support, spread the word, and be there like they were. I didn't want it to turn into that begging stage. So I then had to approach the radio. I did. I approached the radio DJ. I said, look, this is how you're coming across to me. Isn't how this should be. If that makes sense. And the money raised, don't get me wrong, the money raised, which was over £1,000 by the end of it, was astonishing. So again, thank you to everyone. I'm not being ungrateful here, but that is an aim I never had set out. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm probably saying this all wrong. That's the. I let myself down because it came through my ears like we were begging, and that wasn't the aim. I wanted just to do what we set out to do, and anything we got was through people's generosity, not us saying, "Oh, come on, you got to give it to us because we're doing this for you." If that makes sense.
So your awareness was your aim. The money was a bonus, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. That's it. I simply, mental health again is so important. And again, when I was doing this stream, it was at a point I felt where mental health was being spoken about, and I just wanted to simply say, look, this is a new charity set up within the area I live in. If you need to talk to them, there's a 24-hour line. Please do that. It was, again, you do these charity streams to raise awareness and to obviously raise some money. But I didn't have that money. I never had if we raise money, that would have been a bonus sort of thing, But I didn't want to turn it into, oh no, we're near this barrier, we're near this high bar, we're near this figure. Let's get there. I didn't have that. That wasn't my mindset. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but again, it's just I can't let myself down because it wasn't. I shouldn't have taken the approach of, oh, you're begging, you're doing this. Maybe I should have let it roll. But I because of how I felt, and I suppose, like I said, the times were setting in. I did approach to say, look, you're coming across wrong, and I don't want it to be like that. If that makes sense, if people want to donate, fine, let them have that free choice, but don't make them feel like, oh, we've got to push them over a line. Again, I want to stress, I want to illustrate, I want to put out there, I am so forever grateful. Yeah, but I can't help where my mind was and what I was listening to.
Yeah, no, I completely get that. Completely understand. I think they said at one point to, well, it was after that time in the conversation, but I think they came out and said, don't. There's some crazy donations going on or something. They're saying, oh, just give what you can, and I think they changed their stance. Yeah.
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 It was crazy towards the end. I'm grateful. I don't want to come across like I'm ungrateful. That's not the point. But it's, I suppose, when I was in that mindset of I just want to spread the word, and then it felt like we were begging at the end. I didn't feel. I didn't want that. I mean, again, speaking to those people who've given me feedback since, it's like it didn't come across like that. We were all there for you. We were all in the moment, and obviously then the giving war. I call it the giving war. The donation war kind of happened. It blew my mind. It still blows my mind now. But that's the only bit where for me it was like, oh, I was, like I said earlier, the disconnect between me and everyone watching, which obviously was kind of patched up with the great news that was going on. That's more of a learning curve than it is something that I felt was something I didn't like or anything. But that particular part was where I was like, oh, it's not where I was at. Do you know what I mean? So,
Al, what about yourself?
Yeah, just picking up on something there what Phoebe Chicky said. Like, obviously, I set the goal for £1,000, but on the pickups video I did like a few days before the live stream started, I did say, look, if you can't give, don't give. Obviously, don't leave yourself short. Charity starts at home. Do not give it if you haven't got it. Always make sure you've got your own stuff first before thinking about giving something else. And obviously, like, all I want is you to come along and support the stream. Just be there and push me through. Because I said that's bigger for, like, obviously we're trying to raise money for charity and stuff, and I've set the target quite high. But at the same time, I didn't want people to come and go, oh, here's £20, but I'm not eating this week, sort of thing. I never wanted that to happen. So I made sure that I said, look, if you are going to give, make sure that you can afford to give it. Do not just give it because you want to give it and then leave yourself short for other bills. I mean, everything's going up in price these days, and
right.
If you can afford to spare £5-10, great. But if you can't, just come along, have a chat in the stream, just keep me going. That's what I said. I mean, I probably said, come on, guys, get the donations going when we got to about 20 or 2 hours into the stream, whatever it was. But that was just like adrenaline pushing me through, sort of thing. But yeah, I thought it would be really easy because I quite often am awake 24 hours because on my first night shift, I finish at 7 a.m. But the day before it, I normally wake up at about 7, 8. So by the time I've done my shift and get home, it's gone past the 24-hour mark. So I thought, this will be easy. And it probably would have been if I didn't play this.
The unicorn princess. Yeah.
I knew I had to turn this off because there was one part in it where it's like a bit of a time trial, and I couldn't get past that time trial no matter how hard I tried. If you ever like, you can't watch it back now, but if you was there watching, this horse is meant to go, well, this unicorn is meant to go straight, but because I'm like falling asleep, it's going like that. I couldn't get it straight just to get it to there and back in time. I couldn't do it. No matter how many times I tried it, I could not do this challenge. And I'm like, I need to turn this off because I'm just going to be falling asleep in a minute because this thing is boring. I'm sitting there, I'm playing it, and I'm going like that. And I'm waking up, and the horse is over there, and I'm thinking, it needs to go off. So if I would have carried on doing the achievement hunting, if I would have put the Mega Drive back on, anything like that, it would have kept me more awake than this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We did warn you. We did warn you before.
Yeah. But the thing is, I looked at like all my games, and it was like a 3 to 4 hour completion. I thought, right, I've got 3 to 4 hours here. I can get this completion done. But yeah, I need to get back on it when I'm wide awake, because there's no way I'm going to do this challenge with being asleep. No matter how easy I put the level on, it's not going to happen. I just couldn't keep the thing straight.
It's been a fascinating conversation going on in the chat about sweets and things while you guys have been talking.
What are they recommending?
Well, Rachel said
Dib
she went to a
dabs.
bar that sells retro sweets. Dib dabs and lager are not a combo I wish to repeat. It doesn't taste as good the second time around. Apparently, there's a place called Fab Cafe, which Eddie mentioned, which appears to be the right one. And they play.
Retro Claire's comment up. Sorry, that's brilliant.
What's that one? Sorry.
That one.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Double dip, yeah. You had to have that one. Oh, yeah, there we go, Retro Claire. Yeah. You should have played Alan Wake
Alan Wake.
instead. Oh, you can see where the inspiration comes from. Where I got my jokes from. Yeah, it's not me. It's not me. I've got a script writer elsewhere to do that for me, which is good. My last question, which is probably we're coming to the end of 2 hours anyway, but my last question I wanted to ask very, very quickly was, how did you all feel after it? What was the... Obviously, you've achieved it, but I mean, in terms of your sort of physical state afterwards, did you go straight to bed, or did it take a couple of days to get over it, or were there no real effect, Rob?
But obviously, I was in I wasn't even in the middle. I was hoping I was in the middle of a large furlough spell, but I wasn't, was I? I was only a couple of months into 5.5. Like, I knew that I had the plenty of recovery time afterwards, and I think that was one thing that you should factor in. But one thing I did factor in is I knew I had a large recovery time afterwards, because work has to give you 48 hours notice, so certainly doing my line before you can return. So I knew I had 48 hours once I'd got it set in stone and once it was happening. But the funny thing about it is, as tired as I was feeling during that last hour, when it was over, I had such a little bit of a sort of personal buzz from doing it and getting it done, and like I said earlier, everyone turning up at the end, that I couldn't sleep for a couple of hours. I literally couldn't. I then was on a high myself from what I'd achieved, what I'd done. You know, again, sort of being a bit overwhelmed by everybody turning up and supporting at the end. I couldn't get to sleep straight away, but you know, once I did, I did have a good sleep. I can tell you that. But yeah, as I say, my own personal sleeping pattern for the last 20 years of my life has probably not been healthy anyway. So I sleep when I need to, and if I need to stay awake and I'm not, and I'm not at home, then I will stay awake, and I can always get by. I was going to say I can always get by on a little sleep as well. So sort of a personal advantage, I suppose, to my sleeping life. But yeah, no, I was going to say, I actually stayed awake for a couple of hours on a bit of a buzz.
Feed me chicken. How were you after your excursions?
Well, I suppose I'm glad I didn't throw up, but I think when I took the mask off, it must have woke me up a little bit. No, in all seriousness, I think I felt pretty much the same as Mr. Gonaldinho. Once it was done, it was more like you get a real sense of achievement, don't you? You know, it's like, wow, I've actually done it, and then for me it was like, oh shit, I've got to pack all this stuff up and take it back to the car now. Oh, great. It was tidy up time. If just so I don't disappoint anyone, I did go out and have 10 chicken wings after I finished it. So
yes.
but I tell you what, because of all monsters that I drunk, I think I gave myself heartburn before going to bed, and it was like bursting out fire. I'm telling you. But no, it's just, I think it just becomes one of those things, doesn't it? I think you just become elated and pleased and relieved all at the same time. It just gives you like Gonaldinho says, it gives you that little buzz. That because I went home and then obviously got feedback from my wife, because she was obviously in the stream, in the chat for most of it. And she was telling me, well, people said this and people donated that and people talking about this, and you got told that this was happening. So it was really good to get that feedback. Sadly, I'll never see the stream myself because it wasn't saved. It wasn't anything. It was just streamed and that was it.
Yeah.
So it was a one and done, and I'll never see it at all. But again, the feedback I had since then, and people even in the Christmas stream, I think I was mentioned 3 times in that Christmas stream. The things that I've done this year. If something can can last in people's memories, then you've probably done something right, you know. And like I said, thanks to the community that's out there. So thanks to everyone in the chat, and obviously everyone that's in this podcast right here, right now. You know, the support was overwhelming, the generosity was overwhelming, and just overall a fantastic experience that I'll never forget personally.
Alan, to finish off.
Yeah, I had the same problem. I was absolutely knackered, but then we started playing the Fall Guys, and obviously all the people coming in at the end, and even having that little drop of whiskey at the end to celebrate and everything. And then obviously we ended the stream at 10. I chatted to you and Pedro for about 10-15 minutes afterwards, and I thought, oh, lovely. So I planned it to finish at 10 because I was working the next night. And I thought, right, I'll finish at 10. I'll sleep all day. I'll be able to stay up all night, sleep all day the next day, and be on night shifts. Did it work out like that?
No.
What really happened was I finally went to bed about 1 o'clock. So I'd been awake for 3 hours now because I couldn't sleep. I was up by 5. I'd only had 4 hours sleep. I was then back in bed by 1 o'clock in the morning because I was knackered, and then obviously woke up at like 8 in the morning ready to do my night shift. So I'd literally done another 24 hours the next night. And I went into work because my work knew about, like, they watched my channel, and some of them supported, some of them were there on the stream watching, a couple of them donated. So I come in, they're like, oh, well done, congrats on your 24-hour stream. Here's your 5-mile walk you're doing tonight. I'm thinking, oh, taking it easy. So yeah, I was absolutely knackered by the time I got home that next morning. I'm still kind of recovering now because I've pretty much done nights from when that stream ended. I only had yesterday off really, because even Friday I was on nights the night before. So by the time I woke up, we done Fall Guys, and then I was in on mornings this morning. So I'm still recovering.
Now, very, very quickly, just because you've kept your donation page open until 1st of April, so just very, very quickly, I'll give you the full screen just to give people some few details. I'll just, before Al says anything, I will put probably tomorrow, for anybody watching this or want to come back into it, I will put the link to the donating page in the description, but I didn't want to put it in beforehand because I didn't want to give away who the guests were, but I'll just give you a couple of moments so you can just talk about it very, very quickly.
Yeah, so as you can see, we never hit the target. I've still got all my hair, I've still got my beard, and I've still got my eyebrows, which is the main thing at the moment. But,
you should have shaved one off to show willing, I told you that.
Yeah. What I've done is I've had feedback from a few people, obviously, because I've done it in the middle of the month. Some people don't get paid towards the end of the month or the first. So a few people have said, oh, I'll donate, but I'll donate at the end, like at the end of the month. And I thought, right, well, if these people are going to donate, I'll keep the challenge open. I wouldn't, because I said it for the 24 hours originally. And I said, right, if you're willing to donate, then I need to be willing to carry out with the forfeit sort of thing of like, if you reach the target. So we're actually streaming Fall Guys on the 1st of April. It's a Friday. So if we can reach the target by the 1st of April, I will shave it all off on Fall Guys before we start playing it. So yeah, the like Russ said, the links will be down below on this video. But if you want to, then I've got a couple of videos up talking about it with the links in it as well. But yeah, we've raised £461 so far, which is amazing. I've probably set the target a little bit too high. I weren't even expecting to get like near the £500 mark, and then obviously people have said they're going to donate towards the end of the month, so we've probably pushed quite close to 600, maybe 700. So maybe I'll drop the target down to like 750 or something. We'll talk about that once I do the recap. I haven't sorted out the recap yet because there is a couple of people I need to thank for thing. Yeah, go on.
If you get £500, will you do one side of your face? Like, you know, do one side. Would you shave like one side of your beard, one eyebrow, and half your head? Well, it's £500. It's £500. I mean, you would have got halfway there. There you go. You know.
Yeah, but then
I'm just asking. Yeah, but it was for charity. That's what you got to say. This was for charity. This is what got into. You know.
You know what? You could have been up to an idea there. You should have done different levels. You should have right 250. The hair goes 500. The beard goes 1,000. The eyebrows go as well.
Yeah,
that's good,
I was
that is.
going to do that, but yeah, someone actually suggested while I was doing the stream, why don't I shave the two sides of my hair off and have a mohawk? And I said, there's not much hair left in the middle, so it will look like I completely shaved it anyway. But yeah, I was going to do the different levels and then change my mind at the last second.
I hope that works. I've just copy and pasted the URL into the chat for anybody who wants to go across and donate anything. So I hope that does work. If not, go across to Al's channel. If you find his video, which says he's the first 6 hours of his live stream, the link is on there as well. Like I said, I'll try and put it in the chat as well. But like I said, got till the end of the month to donate money. And
only if you can afford it. Do not give too much.
That's it. That's it.
If you can't afford it, don't worry. But if you can, that's great. Obviously, do not leave yourself short because everything's going up, and obviously, your things are more important than donating to a charity because obviously you need it. If you need it more than the charity does, don't give it.
And everyone donating 6 months' time, I want to see how long Al's hair can get. That'll be interesting. That'll be interesting. Right then, so we've hit the 2-hour mark, which is brilliant. So I will draw a line under that. I think I'd just like to say on behalf of everybody to Al, Phoebe, Chicken, and Rob. Once again, our thanks to you for your efforts in raising money for good causes through the hobby that we all have here, gaming, and you've all done it all slightly differently, and you've all raised money for good causes. And a lot of people who were in the chat tonight took part in those one way or the other, whether it was providing support to the chat or whether we took part in the streams, however which way we did it. So a massive thank you once again to all of you for your efforts. And for those of us who haven't done well, all we can do is as some people have mentioned, as Sean said, the greatest amount of admiration for everybody who've done that, and full credit to you. And if you decide to do it again, then do let everybody know. Rob, yes, sorry.
That's what I'd like to say. Watch this space for June because I might be doing another one.
We'll make sure we get some put the word round for you, mate. If you do decide to do that, so do keep us.
A few months away, but last time I gave it like a week's notice because I was like, right, I'm doing this. But this time, I'm having a think, and I'm looking at the week I've taken off in June with nothing to do at this present moment in time. So that's the last thing I'll say. But yeah, no, honestly, even I know it's all that time ago. Thank you to everybody that turned up and tuned in and watched back then and donated. So, and to everyone that's taken part and helped out all three of us when we did it and for what we did it for. So I was going to say everything's worthwhile here, all of them. In fact, it's probably the best three for me. The one I did, animals and mental health. It's literally the three things that mean a lot to me. So yeah. Brilliant.
Thanks from Ian and from Stuart and also from Rach and James as well. Right, gentlemen, thank you very much indeed for your time this evening. Sean, thanks for sitting there on the panel and contributing. Always good to have you here, mate. I know you and me, the odd ones out again, but it's good to have you here, mate. And once again, guys, thanks so much for coming on the stream to talk about those. And love to have you, certainly Al and Mr. Chicken, back on again at some point in the future. Rob, thanks. I know it's been a busy day for you, mate, but thank you very much for coming on. Good to have you back as well.
My pleasure. If I can, I always will.
Yeah, lovely. Right, I'll just drop you all backstage and I'll say goodbye to our loyal viewers and listeners. So give everybody away before you go, please, gentlemen. Thank you. I love it when they do that, when you ask them to do it. Lovely. Thank you very much indeed to everybody who's been in the chat tonight. And thank you very much indeed to everybody who's contributed in the comments. Well, lovely to see some familiar faces back and some new names as well. Always good. We're back in 2 weeks' time. We have our guests lined up, but we haven't got our subject. But we will have that. We'll have that in the future. And we're also lined up for 4 weeks' time as well. So the next available slot we have, if anybody wants to come on as a guest, I believe is the 1st of May, I think it is. So if you want to be a guest to come on the panel and talk about a gaming subject of your own choice, get in contact with myself. We're probably looking for guests for May if you're interested in coming on to the tNb. We're here every couple of weeks. But there we go. Thanks very much for tuning in. We'll hope to see you again very, very soon. Do take care, mind what you're doing. This is the Retro Bear on behalf of everybody on the panel saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.